Harihi Om. Today's sloka is 14 number sloka. Anadya vidya nirvachya karanopadhiruchyate. Anadya vidya nirvachya karanopadhiruchyate. Upadhi tritayad anyam upadhi tritayadanyam atmanamavadharayet atmanamavadharayet. Together. Anadya vidya nirvachya karanopadhiruchyate upadhitritayadanyam atmanamavadharayet. Anadi, avidya, anirvachya, karana, upadhihi, uchyate. Upadhi tritayad anyam atmanam avadharayet. Anadi avidya. Anadi avidya. Beginningless ignorance. Anadi means who has no adi or beginning. Anat pratyay yoge. An आदि जिसका आदि नहीं, शुरुआत नहीं, पता नहीं है, beginningless. And avidya is ignorance. Anirvachya means indescribable. So, as vidya is strilinga, feminine gender, that is why anirvachya also it has made as anirvachya, indescribable. Okay. Karana upadhi, causal body. Uchyate is said. Upadhi tritayat anyam. Other than the three conditioning bodies, Atmanam, the Atma, avadhara, it should be understand. So, avidya, which is beginningless, indescribable, is the cause of body. Know for certain that the Atma is other than these three conditioning bodies or upadhis. So here the thing is that Karana Sharira, that avidya, you can't tell it is, means it is Sat, and we feel it. So you can't tell it is not or Asat. So that Karana Upadhi is neither uh, Sat or real, nor Asat or unreal. That is why it is Anirvachya, indescribable. You can't speak of it. And when it has been started, nobody knows. That is why Anadi. But it appears as Brahman because Brahman also indescribable. beginningless. But what is the difference? Brahman is ever Sat, ever existent faculty. So, in other two classes, last two classes, we have discussed about gross body and subtle body. Today we will discuss on causal body. And in the last line, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has told everything else. That you should know that Atma is different from Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira, Vyatirikta. Atma is different from gross, subtle, and causal body. Clear? So if we do Anvaya in very nicely, please write it. Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Karana Upadhi Uchyate. Karana Upadhi Uchyate. See how simple Sanskrit it is. Atmanam Upadhi Trayat Anyam iti avadharat. Atma or Atmanam is same. How it is? Upadhi Trayat Annam. Different from three conditionings. What means? Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, gross, subtle, and causal. Avadharayat. You should know in that way. So it's very simple. Na? So if we know how to read, Sanskrit is so easy. Now the thing is, pralaya or dissolution, the highest example in this very life is deep sleep. So the thing is, what is Karana Upadhi? Sthula, Sukshma Sharir, they are all the Upadhi conditioning of Atma. I am Atma. So those are not me. So whenever sorrow will come to us, जब मन में दुख आएगा, when the turbulence will come into our life, so you should know it's only an appearance, only mithya. See, whenever you get up from bed, someone can tell you you get up so late, you don't do anything else at your age. I used to do all those things. It's a common problem. So how will you know? You should know as everything else as mithya, appearance. Okay. So what will be your equipment? Your own intellect will be your equipment. Life is sorrow. Bhagavan is telling in Gita that life is nothing but dukkhalayam, abode of sorrow. But all of them are anatma and mithya. What is sorrow? दुख का मतलब क्या है? Only one meaning. I am getting identified with anything else. That is called dukkha. Just think, am I right or wrong? Dukkha means I am getting identified with anything else. Not a single day you will find that when an anatma did not face any problem. And that anatma is anadi, avidya, anirvacha, sharira dvayasya karanam. In Atmabodha it is there. So it has no property. Avidya or ignorance has no property. If it had property, we could describe it, but it has no property. Only property is avaranam and vikshepam, covering the truth, veiling the truth, and projecting something else. Atasmin tadbuddhi. In Brahma Sutra it is there. That is why what is not, we think that it is. There is no connection between snake and rope. But how we feel that it is snake, nobody knows. So, avadharanam. Avadharanam word doesn't mean that only to know. Avadharanam means it should become my first nature. Means who I am and who I am not. Means I should have to hold on to that knowledge. Then only I can get rid of the sense of finitude or limitedness, which is the only cause of my problem. Ignorance never comes from knowledge. And another thing, ignorance can't come from nothing. So it is called beginningless, but absolute beginningless we can't say. Just intellectual jugglery, okay? We have to think in that way. We have to relish our subject. So, Ajnan, what is Ajnanam? Ajnanam is Bhavarupam. Bhavarupam means not absence of knowledge. Bhavarupam means Ajnanam is Bhavarupam means it has a positive sense to cover up the Atma. In Samadhi, the whole world will be there. Only that avarana and vikshepa will be withdrawn. So everything is there. Just reduce nama and rupa. How? Through intellect. So, in individual level, three sharira, three bodies are projected. That is why Atma is forgotten. So, the um, dhatu is dhri, dhri dharane. So, before that, if we use prefix avadharanam. So, teacher has told Acharya has told that hold on to this knowledge. Atmanam avadharaya. We can see it in different way that Atma alone is knowledge. All other are ignorance, avidya. All other means three shariram, sthula, sukshma, karanam. We generally don't know that there are three bodies. Our most calculation is for the gross bodies. Transaction also happens through gross bodies. The thing is, we only think that Atma, through this gross body, our all demands. We need house, we need food. Though subtle body enjoys everything else, but everything happens through this gross body. So the thing is, but the bhokta, enjoyer is subtle body. But all the people are working in this world for this gross body who is not at all enjoyer, who is enjoying, he is subtle body. So the thing is, if anyone knows all those things, they will leave the job because gross body is just like inert all other thing. Even it's our common sense. If someone asks me, what are you doing? No, I am teaching. What are you doing? I'm studying. Means we are always, our samskara is like that. We are identified with that gross body. Now the thing is, ज्ञानेन मोक्ष न कर्मणा शास्त्र सिद्धांत ज्ञानेन मोक्ष न कर्मणा the liberation only possible through knowledge, not through any sorts of action. So in case of job, real life, I am neither employed nor unemployed. Nobody can hire me because the whole world is job oriented. Gross body obsessions should be reduced by right thinking. So your priority should be changed from maintaining the gross body to some other higher thoughts. Then only it is possible for me to understand that Atma is different from three bodies. What is the system? Another meditation style. Please listen to it. This is also meditation I am discussing. Add Atma in everything. Add Atma in everything. Then subtract Anatma from everything, like light meditation. So, because body was subject or body is subject to modification. But the thing is, Atma is avikari, is not subject to modification. Body is santa, not shanta. Santa means sa anta, with end. Atma is ananta, without end. See, in that process, we will discriminate. In my mind, I have to separate both, that I have to avadhara it, hold on to that mind. I shall not let go that idea that I am Atma and I am changeless. So the thing is that avadhara, it should be understood in that way. That is meditation. What is light meditation? When we see anything else, we only see the object. But is it so? If there is no light, not a single object is visible. Do we pay attention on that matter? If we pay, that's called light meditation. So, in all cases of delusory superimpositions, such as a ghost vision in a post, the cause for the illusion is in the accident. The thing is uh, accidental, non apprehension of the reality. When truth is not known, when the reality of thing is veiled from us, we cannot but misinterpret the reality through our own misdirected imaginations or vikshepa, which form the delusory projection or called adhyasa. When the intellect is clouded with ignorance, the mind dances in agitation, painting for itself an exhaustive picture of dark despair. When the spirit is not known due to the veiling layers of ignorance, the misapprehensions of the spirit, as the various matter envelopments start, identifying with these layers, the delusory sense of individuality arises, and this ego suffers the pains and agonies of existence. The more non apprehension, in case it is not creating any misapprehensions, is a condition of relative joy. This avidya is the causal body. Inasmuch as it is this ignorance of an internal spiritual perfection that has given us our gurgling desires in the intellect, thoughts in the mind, and actions through this body. The subtle body and gross body are the products of ignorance or avidya, and therefore ignorance is known as the causal body. Avidya is known as karana shariram. And why anadi, beginningless? This is a description of this mysterious avidya which the students of Vedanta in their early days of study find very difficult to accept and assimilate. Clear light is thrown into this concept by the modern revelation in science. Time, according to modern scientists, is the interval between two events. In textbooks of philosophical thoughts, a more vivid definition is given, which perhaps has a closer personal appeal. Time is the interval between experiences. To have an experience, three factors are necessary: the experiencer, the experienced, and the right relationship established and maintained between the subject and the object, known as the experiencing. Thus, the mind intellect instrument, the experiencer, must have a world of objects, the experienced, to establish the condition of the experiencing to have the first experience. In the joyless joy state, means deep sleep state, because we told that the mere non-apprehension, in case it is not creating any misapprehensions, in a condition of relative joy, means in the joyless joy state of deep sleep, we are in pure avidya, in sheer non-apprehension of both self and the not self. Clear? Because there is pure avidya and no knowledge state. It's a thing. At a single point A, there is no distance to measure, but from point A to any point B, there is a distance. When the first experience ends, which is at the rise of a different experience, then alone can the concept of first unit of time appear in our comprehensions. Even for the very first experience where time is impossible, we need the equipments of mind and intellect as well as the world of objects to perceive, feel, and think. Thus, even before time was perceived, the created world must have come out, and to perceive it, the equipments of knowledge also must have been created. Ignorance is the causal body for the subtle and gross envelopments, and therefore it cannot be qualified or measured by time, which is its own byproduct. So often the grandson complains, "Grandpa, why did you not take me to the marriage of my grandma?" Avidya is before time, anadi, that is timeless. The ignorance or avidya is again qualified here by Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji as indescribable, a thing that exists and which can be an object of our perception, feeling, or thought, that alone can be framed in expressions unexplained or described. But avidya, which is the cause for the instruments of perception, feeling, and thought, cannot be brought fully within our experience, and hence the difficulty to explain it. Again, if a thing exists, it can be explained. A non existent thing also can be explained. Avidya can neither be said to be existent nor non existent, or both, and therefore it is inexplicable. Lastly, in Vedanta, the theme of discussion is vidya, knowledge, not avidya or ignorance. The seeker has come to the teacher or acharya seeking knowledge, not ignorance. Therefore, the Shastras or scriptures say that the seekers need not try to understand and experience ignorance. It is impossible to do so. With a torch, however fast we may run, we will never be able to see darkness. Night flies before the vivid rays of the morning, keeping a burning gaslight on his head. One fool once walked the whole night through trying to place that light at some place where there is darkness. He failed. The more we try to understand or know ignorance, the more it moves off until we reach true knowledge. Hari Om Tat Sat.